All right, and here we are with season number 2, episode number 1, and we're going to get right into this episode here, guys. Listen, if you're just now tuning in to the Underdogs Edge podcast, I'm so excited to have you tuning in. This is season number 2, and I am looking forward to continue to pump out as much content as I possibly can. My long-term goal is to have, just 10 years of this stuff, man, where I'm interviewing entrepreneurs, interviewing business owners, interviewing leaders in all different industries and capacities. And so this is a very exciting, journey for myself, because as I'm doing this, I'm learning and I'm growing. And I'm hoping that there might just be one or two nuggets that you get out of these podcasts that can absolutely change your life and help increase your life with something that is tangible, something you could take action on today. This podcast, guys, if you're just now tuning in, is not about theory. It's only about what we can actually apply in our day-to-day lives. It is called the Underdogs Edge. This podcast is dedicated for all my underdogs out there with a chip on your shoulder, with the mindset of becoming a winner and winning in your craft and becoming the best in your industry. Doesn't matter what industry you're in, it's a mindset. The Underdog's Edge is a mindset of I must be the best version of myself. It doesn't matter what challenge comes my way, I will overcome, go around, go through, go under the challenge, and I will get the success that we deserve. So that is the Underdog's Edge mindset. All right, guys, let's jump right into this podcast. And this is season number 2, episode number 1. And this podcast is going to be titled Activity Over Perfection. Activity over perfection. And guys, listen, this podcast is really geared for entrepreneurs, business owners, salespeople, marketers. It doesn't matter if you are in the business of, your activity. It actually literally, causes your paycheck or your income to increase or decrease. This podcast is for you. And this more specifically, this episode is for you. So activity over perfection. Let's kind of get right into this, guys. And listen, one of the biggest issues and one of the biggest challenges that we have as a business owner, as a salesperson, as an entrepreneur is we have this mindset of wanting to perfect something or have a perfect script or say the perfect thing or be able to have the perfect meeting, when in reality it's a numbers game, and it's the activity, it's the output that causes things to happen. I would honestly say that the average salesperson, marketer, is not putting out as much focus and intentional activity as they could. If you come into the office, if you come into your place of work, if you come into your business and you're kind of dragging your day out over 10 to 12 hours, how much of that time are you actually putting in the action? And what I mean by that is picking up the phone and actually making contacts, going out and meeting with people, having meetings, engaging with people, talking to people that can actually help your business grow or thrive. Actual work itself is an intentional effort. It is something with a desired outcome that you're looking to reach. Work is not, something that's ambiguous or something that is something that's drawn out. It's something that is focused and intentional. And I think oftentimes we confuse being busy with working, and they're two different things. So I want to get straight into maybe some tangible things that we can do as salespeople, as business owners, as entrepreneurs, as marketers, that we can actually help ourselves become better at our craft. And what I tell my guys here at Freedom Hawk Home Buyers, I have something called 5 times 60. And this is just a philosophy, right? 5 times 60. What does that mean? It means give me 5 60-minute blocks a day of work, actual work. Give me 5 60-minute moments of actual output. If someone can condense time into 60-minute blocks and actually put out output for 60 minutes at a time, what does that mean? That means For us here, it's picking up the phone, it's talking to sellers, it's working deals, working leads, sending contracts, sending offers. If you do that 5 hours per day throughout your week, 5 to 6 days a week, you can literally move mountains in your world. Literally, you will transform your commissions, your income, your company revenue. Everything will literally increase by just being consistent with 5 times 60. You can apply this really to any business. If you're a business owner, then you can apply 5 times 60. If you put in 5 hours a day of actual work, real work, not Instagram, not Facebook, not looking at the internet, not setting up a dinner date, not looking at Amazon.com, actual activity, 60 minutes at a time with real production output for 60 minutes. After 60 minutes, take a 20, 30-minute break. Doesn't matter, because it's about your output. The consistency, it will absolutely move mountains in your life. I have seen this personally with myself. Whenever I am focused and I am intentional with my output, I literally move mountains in my work and in my business. Magical things happen. We had an episode last season called Hustle Karma. It kind of corresponds to Hustle Karma. You start getting lucky breaks, lucky deals happen, lucky bounces happen. The deals come through, they fall on your lap. Next thing you know, you're closing new revenue or something, or you're getting a new client because of just all the output that you put out into the marketplace. So first thing that you can put down right now as an actual tangible strategy, a tactic, is called 5 times 60. 5 times 60. If you can do 5 times 60 every single day of your working week, 5 to 6 days of your working week, you will move mountains in your life. 5 times 60. The second strategy and tactic, speed to lead. Speed to lead. Harvard Business Study did a study, and I need to actually put a link here on the podcast where they actually studied different companies that would generate leads online, and the leads would come in. What they've actually realized is only 27% of leads that get generated and actually brought into a company are ever actually contacted. So 27% of leads generated are actually made contact with. Person A and person B are communicating. That only happens 27% of the time. The reason why majority of the time they do not have the contact success rate is because they simply wait too long to call the lead. They wait too long to call the lead. In that Harvard Business Study, there was also a statistic that said if you call a lead within 60 seconds, all you got to do is call the lead. Just calling the lead within 60 seconds and making contact with them in 60 seconds increases your business success by 314%. So if you just implemented that tactic, speed the lead, you will increase your success by 314%, according to Harvard. And that's a pretty credible place to be doing a business study. So the Harvard Business School, that's what they came up with. They studied 2,300 different organizations. They studied them over, I think it was a 12 or 18 month timeline. So 2 tactics, 2 strategies you can implement right now. 5 times 60. The second is speed the lead. 5 times 60, speed the lead. If you do those 2 things, your revenue, your income, everything will increase. And guys, this is something I'm preaching to myself. I'm preaching to our team here. This is, we're not bigger than this, right? There are some days where it's really easy to let things slide. There are some days where it's really easy to not pick up the phone. There are some days where it's really, really easy to kind of forget the vision. But it's all about output and activity. The more output and the more activity you put out, the more results you will get. It is a law of the universe. It cannot be changed. It literally is the truth. Guys, this is sales 101, marketing 101, business 101. The more output you get, the more output you put out, the more income you get, the more revenue you get. The more offers you make, the more deals you get. The more people you call, the more contracts you get. The faster you call those leads, the more your success goes up. It's just the law of business and sales and marketing. And that's exactly what we're talking about. And guys, if you're listening in or you're tuning into this podcast, you're probably a marketer. You're probably a salesperson. You're probably an entrepreneur. You're probably in some sort of line of business where your action and your activity actually matter. You're not a cog in the wheel. You're not an administrator. You're not you're not just pushing buttons. What you do actually matters. And guys, I have so much love for the frontliners, for the marketers, for the salespeople, for the guys that are bringing in the top line. This is where everything happens. This podcast is for you because that's who I am at my heart. I've always been in sales, always been where what I do is what I get, and it's a wonderful place to be because there's no limits, there's no caps. But guys, there are some things that we have to do to make sure that our business is in the right path. And like I said, I'm preaching to myself. So guys, on this podcast, it is activity over perfection. There's a few nuggets I want you to take away from this, and please implement this in your work and in your business right now. It will help you. The first thing is 5 times 60. 5 intentional time-blocked working hours per day, every single day, Monday through Saturday or Monday through Friday. 5 times 60. If you can pump out actual activity in 60-minute blocks for 5 hours a day, you will move mountains in your business. Your whole business will transform. Most people are like, well, aren't you supposed to work 12 hours? Guys, nobody works 12 hours. Okay, unless you're Gary Vaynerchuk. Seriously, there needs to be a reality check. Working and being somewhere or walking around or being in an office is not working. When I'm speaking of 5 times 60, I'm talking about actual real output. If you do that, your whole business will transform. So the first nugget is 5 times 60. The second thing we want to implement is speed the lead. Whenever you get a new lead, call within 60 seconds. Make contact in 60 seconds. According to Harvard Business, your success will increase 314% just by doing that. Just those 2 tactics alone will transform your business. It will transform your sales success. Guys, listen, I'm so happy that you're tuning in. This is season 2, episode number 1, activity over perfection. Listen, this is something that we've all struggled with. I've struggled with this as a salesperson, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, is putting in the focus work, putting in the focus activity, getting the output out and making sure I'm staying on top of my leads, staying on top of my business, staying on top of my sales. It's so important, guys. In sales and marketing and business, it's not about being Jordan Belfort. You don't have to say the best things or be the most charismatic person in the world. That's not what sales is. It's a science. It is an art, but it has a lot of science to it. And I want to talk about the science in this podcast. Things that you can implement, tangible things. And the 2 things in here that you can implement right now today is 5 times 60 and speed the lead. Those 2 things will absolutely transform your sales and marketing and business success. All right, guys, until next time, have a phenomenal rest of your week. Have a phenomenal day and go out there and just do the activity and have trust in the process, have faith in the process. Don't worry about perfection. Pump out activity. Get aggressive about pumping out as much focus and intentional activity as you can, and you will increase your success. Until next time, adios.